How's it going, guys? It's June 2nd, 2025. I have this almond. This is Desertny or Bounty almond. I guess it goes by two different names. There it is. Grafted in 2020, so 5 years ago. And I'm converting these almond trees to peach trees because they've been here for too long and they just don't produce enough almonds. I was seeing one or two. I think I posted a video on it last year on one of these, and there was only like one or two almonds. This one doesn't have any that I can see at all this year. So almonds clearly don't produce very well in my climate, so I'd rather not waste space of an entire tree. There was two actually. So that was Alenia and this is Bounty. But I just want to show you guys the graft compatibility between this one and Alenia. So Alenia is more of a pure almond species. Desertny has some background and possibly has some genetic background in other prunus species, and so it seems to have better graft compatibility. Here's the graft union. You can see it's fairly smooth. You don't see a lot of cracking, and there's a little bit of cracking going on here, but for the most part there isn't a big diameter mismatch or anything that indicates that this is like an extreme it's gonna give it a long-term problem. I don't see. So what I'm gonna do with this one is I'm just gonna graft peach up here. Since this has such a good compatibility with the plum, it's probably gonna have far better compatibility than any other peach directly to the plum, and so I'll use this almond as an interstem and graft here, here, and here. Graft some peaches there. And then this one here, this was Alenia. It was a more vigorous grower too, but I cut it below the graft of the almond and grafted K86. This is K86 rootstock, but I'm going to use it as an interstem because K86 is a hybrid between peach and plum. And my other videos show that I'm using Necticum a lot, which shows a lot of good traits between plum and peach. But this year I'm testing a lot of K86. The reason why I went below the graft on this one, see, I just cut this entire almond down and grafted it. And I mean, there were a couple of almonds on here, not very many, but this is the graft union here, and I cut just below the graft union, and you can see the bulging here all around. See all that cracking, this diameter mismatch. So that just shows that it might cause long-term incompatibility and dieback or graft rejection down the road, even though it wasn't showing signs of rejecting it yet. But this sort of bulging usually indicates that it's not going to serve for a long time. So I decided to go below the graft on this and graft the K86 here. And this tree, I'm going to graft peaches to every single limb here. This is Necticum. Put on a couple fruits. It's still warming up here in Northwest Washington, and so a lot of the plums and cherries aren't looking too hot. This is a Harico nectarine starting to grow back, but I mean it had a really bad curl earlier in the season. But the union here between peach and Necticum, you see that? See how smooth this union is. This is the union right here. Between there to there was one diagonal cut about 5 years ago or 4 years ago, and it's very smooth between peach and Necticum. So I figured that's why I started using Necticum as a stem. But it looks like that almond, Zetne almond, is looking pretty smooth, similar to this. So we'll test that out as well. All right, there we go. This almond tree is converted to peach. Hopefully these grafts will take. Got 4 different varieties grafted here. And I left one nurse branch. The tree's a decent size caliber, then you do want to leave a nurse branch if possible. Over there I couldn't really leave one because I had to graft really low because I wanted to get below the graft. But if possible and the tree's bigger, it helps to leave a nurse branch to kind of keep the system flowing until you have enough leaf matter from the grafts to sustain the root system. Here's another example of a tree I'm converting. This is a cherry tree, and this is sweet cherry. And then you see where the graft is here. That was a long time ago. Well, not that long, like 5 years ago. And I grafted a sweet sour cherry hybrid to it. And this is kind of what it looks like. It's called Chorna Kirka, Ukrainian dark sour cherry hybrid, but it doesn't produce well here. It doesn't produce very well, but I noticed that it has a very good union with sweet cherry. And so now I'm grafting sour cherries and even bush cherries to see if it works good as a interstem. I put Romeo here, Carmine Jewel here, and this is Surefire sour cherry. And I'm just going to use that hybrid as an interstem and test it out, because I have another sour cherry grafted at my grandparents' house that's grafted directly to sweet cherry, and the graft is beginning to fail about 8-9 years later. The sweet cherry roots are beginning to reject sour cherry top, but we'll see if that happens with this as an interstem, hybrid interstem. So that's that. If you like this type of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys next time.